Whoa. Powerful. Welcome to Speck&Tech. È detto awful. Powerful.
Powerful! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Speck&Tech number
24.
24. Ragazzi.
Next time will be a quarto di secolo older.
Yeah, a quarto di secolo. Easy. Alright, we will keep speaking half Italian and half in English for the whole night, just because.
Actually, well, we got a new speaker here. Justin, where are you?
Yeah, we are trying to embarrass
Directly from California. Where are you? Yes, yeah. Directly from California. I was like, yeah, I want to learn some Italian. I'm like, Speck&Tech is the right place to be.
It's not.
So you can learn some Italian, half English, half Italian, half dialect, something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Normal year.
Stupid enough to start today, Speck&Tech number 24 on Fintech. And we're gonna go with two awesome speakers. First one, Edoardo,
very tall.
Edoardo Benedetto, right there. A big applause for him.
Thank you very much. A couple of things about Edoardo, just to embarrass people where this is like a thing. They also have an investor from Trento, which is kind of cool. Like, I didn't know that before inviting him. I was just like, hey, the product is cool, can you come? And he said yes, so big applause. Very cool. And they also raised a huge round today, which is undisclosed, but we can just, try to guess. It's probably not that small. From Banca Intesa. So, well, it's kind of like going very well for all my money. And so we have a very hot guest tonight, guys. And the second one
is NICOLA Parrello.
Another very hot guy.
Yeah. I think Trentino moved to Amsterdam, half Trentino, half Terone. So he's not the one you should learn from too. Yeah. As always, a big thank to all the people that are behind Speck&Tech for the organization of the events.
Literally behind now.
Yeah. For cutting the spec, for preparing the room, for cleaning everything, for staying here till 2 a.m. in the morning, not partying, but cleaning up the mess that you leave when you eat your spec.
Yeah, so basically Speck&Tech is like me and Francesco taking all the applause and stuff, and all those people working with us. Yeah. So they are actually the people who make Speck&Tech possible.
And they deserve an applause.
Yeah, big applause to people. Alright. There is also Fabio Costa in the photo, which is our awesome commercialista.
Okay, cool. Nice. Our supporters, people that are making Speck&Tech possible, as always, we have a 5 minutes introduction by our friends from Dimension. Daniele. Yeah.
Daniele.
A big applause for Dimension.
Thank you, everyone.
Clicker. Which one? So yeah, my name is Daniele, I'm co-founder of Dimension, and I'm here because we are hiring, so that's the reason I'm here for you. But before going to details about why we are hiring, a little bit about ourselves. So we are a company who's doing mobile apps since this phone. So raise your hand if everyone knows about this phone. No one? No? One. What's the name of this phone? Yeah, that's true, but what's the name of the phone itself? So actually, it's so old that is in the museum is like, that's my name. If you go there, well, actually it's not my name anymore because they stole it. So someone stole my phone. They replaced it. I found it like 1 year ago, and so there was another people who was owning this phone. It's from 2000, so we are doing apps since 2000. And actually it was this amazing phone, the first pocket PC mobile phone available on market in Italy. But since then we are doing a lot of stuff. For instance, for museum, of course we work with Muse, but this is from Triennale. We were one of the first company to work with iBeacons technology back in 2014. We were lucky to be in the right place with the right technology when Apple announced this technology, and so that's why we were happy to create this amazing app for museums. Or recently, we were doing a lot of stuff with chatbots, for instance. As a couple of years, we are working with museum. This is from Martin Rovereto, and we are doing experience with conversational interface and this kind of stuff. But because it's about fintech, this is the app we are more proud about, or the app that we are mostly developing every day. You know about it. It's InBank. Many from Trentino has a bank account in Casa Rurale. So yeah, we are the guy behind this app. So if you have any problems or any complaint, go to the bank and tell them there's a problem. It's not because of us. But anyway, let's go back why we are here. I have to be very quick because you have two incredible people after me. And by the way, I am user of their services since day one. So I'm very happy to be before them. We are creating a lab, a real research and development lab, in the real way, not in the old-fashioned way. We want to create code that we don't know about. We don't have a product. We don't have ideas. We need to find ideas. We need to find products. And the only way we can do that is to hire people that help us to create these amazing new technologies. Yeah, everyone talks about artificial intelligence. I don't know about artificial intelligence at all. I mean, probably most of us don't know exactly what is artificial intelligence. Everyone talks about artificial intelligence, but we want to go to the root of the code. We want to create, we want to understand what artificial intelligence it is. We are starting from NLP, natural language processing, because we believe that sooner or later we are going to talk with machines. We don't think that Siri is a good example today, but in the future everyone will talk with machines, and we need to find out why and how and make products using NLP and artificial intelligence. So we are hiring one guy. We already have two guys that will start in the next weeks working with these topics, but we need to find one hardcore developer, someone who's really believe he can do something in this field. You are here, you are good guys that probably know how to code and want to do something crazy in the future. So please, if you want to join us, I will give you my address at the end of the presentation. The second topic, you name it, everyone talks about Bitcoin. We are not talking about Bitcoin, we are talking about blockchain. We believe, like EI, that blockchain is going to be big in the future. Again, we don't know how. We don't know what. We are developing blockchain applications since a couple of years already, but now we want to be serious about it. So we already have one person in our company doing development, but we need one more guy who is doing blockchain development from 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, whatever, until night, 5 days a week. We pay, of course, the salary and vacation, whatever, but we need to be serious about blockchain. We think it's going to be huge in the future, so if you like this topic, please raise your hand or meet after the Speck&Tech or write us an email. Yeah, and we are very close to close our application. So we have a final call. Today is our last day. We are promoting about this hiring. So write us an email. Yeah, this is our email. Phone call, birds, ring or bells. We are here in Trento. We are near Forst. So take a beer. You can come to our office and ask to be in our team. And I think this is everything I have to say about. Please think about the future. We are really passionate about these kind of things, and we want to build something with you.
Thank you very much, Daniele.
Cool.
I can't recommend enough. Dimension is one of the best companies in Trento. I'm saying one of the best because we are also in Trento, but aside from that, it's the only place where I would go working probably. And so if you're interested in one of the teams, I highly suggest sending a CV or an email or just say, hello, Daniele, I'm interested.
I'm also
Because he's also a person you can talk with, it's not just an email. So he will be here for the whole night, so if you want more information or just chit chat, feel free.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm also happy eMac users. I need to say I'm very glad with the product, and I was talking with Oval Money guy before, so take a look at it. Cool. Our sponsor, very quick.
Yeah, fast. Impact Hub is the place where we are. It's a co-working space. If you need a space in Trento where you need to work, this is the place you want to come.
Yeah. Then we have EDOARDO, my organization, Balka, Giulio's company, Future Cloud, who's the guy actually giving us the product that if you give a donation of €1, you actually get an email saying thank you for your donation, and we pay VAT on that, tasse. 11% of tasse on that. So, and then we have Diginate. If you don't know them, they are the one providing the stickers, and there's a big surprise because actually we will have new stickers.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very soon. It's not
Yeah,
like
very soon, not tonight. But if you come to next event, you will see the new stickers, and they're cool.
They're the best stickers we have ever made. The best.
With the American ones.
All right.
Yeah. And then, if you're a girl, or if you have a grandma,
or if you are a grandma, or if you are Francesco's grandma.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. Cool. Yeah, they're actually the last 5L female t-shirt of the 2017 edition.
Yeah, which we will never reprint it ever. We're already designing the new one. So if you want that version and you don't already have one and you're not a L woman size person,
but you have somebody to give
you can
it to.
still buy it as a collectible. But if you want it and you're like my size, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can tell you that Nicola tried it actually. Yeah, you will wear the next force.
Right.
But that's the spoiler, because actually we're working on the next t-shirt.
Sorry.
Yeah? Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, next event you might actually see the next t-shirts coming around, and they're way cooler than these. So if these were already cool, these are the most cooler t-shirts.
Yeah, best t-shirt we have ever made yet.
Yeah. Then big thank to Segata. Who doesn't know who's Segata? Raise your hand.
Is there anyone?
Very few people, because these are the people that are actually providing the spec. It's called the Speck&Tech because there's actually spec later. If you want to leave the room...
Also, if you don't like spec, there's other stuff.
Yeah. But if you don't like spec, or if you, after the 2 talks, if you want to leave, it's fine, you can leave. But there's some spec for the people that decided to stay, okay? Anyway. Our website, Speck&Tech, there's everything. You can find all the talks there, all the previous issues. You can follow us on our social media. Our handle is always Speck&Tech. If you want to be more proactive,
except on Slack, which is Speck-Tech Slack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wasn't me. No, anyway, if you need to be more proactive, or if you're coming from California saying, hey guys, I'm coming to Trentino, can I join your team? That's the URL, you can come there. And Giulio, do they have to donate?
No, please don't donate, because if you stop to donate, then I can just live my life without organizing Speck&Tech, which is a huge amount of time dedicated on it. Yeah. So if you will please stop donate to Speck&Tech, we will have a lot of free time. Like I was talking with Francesco, I'd love to do beach volley. And I end up doing meetings about Speck&Tech, organizing Speck&Tech.
Discussions, meetings,
emails, new t-shirts, and it's a lot of work. So if you like Speck&Tech more than my free time, alright, you can donate. But on the other side,
but it's not mandatory. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. But anyway, if you with your donation, we pay back first the spec, second the beers, third the travels of the speakers if they come from very far. This guy was coming from Puglia. So some speakers are coming from Rome. Or, Sorry about that. And of course, if you don't have a license of JetBrains, you can go there to our desk and say, hey, I don't have a license of JetBrains, I want it, and we can give it to you. And it's also stuff that we get from the association. If you have more ideas about stuff and partnership and synergies with the association, just tell us. We can build on Slack or Facebook page. Yeah, we are very open, and we can use the community to give back in that sense. Final word, next event, save the date, 11th of July, it's a Wednesday, I guess, Wednesday. It's a Wednesday and it's our next event, and the topic is one of those very interesting buzzwords, because it's cybersecurity. And everyone is talking about cybersecurity, but we have actually some of the, I would say, top personalities in Italy.
We also have the top personalities in Italy at Speck&Tech.
So anyway, we have two very cool speakers. So I would tell you, if you're not going already to holidays or to the beach, or not to those very nice beaches around the world, or in the mountains, or something cool,
like
cooler
us,
than
because we are organizing the event. Yeah.
Actually, if you're stuck in Trento, in the beautiful Trento, come to this event on the 11th of July and you won't regret it. That's it. Next slide is our first speaker. So a big applause for
Eduardo, welcome. I am very excited to host him because I've been a user of the service for a long time, and I'm a huge fan, honestly. And he's the lead designer and one of the co-founders, so it's pretty important in the company. It's not like me, my company, and it's actually relevant. And so, warm applause, and abbiamo le slide anche? All right, so we can start.
Hello everyone, it's a really pleasure to stay here. It's my second speech in English. Sorry about if I... Yeah?
We are not buying time.
Okay. This is my second speech, sorry. I'm Edoardo Benedetto. I'm one of the co-founder of Oval Money. Oval Money is an application that helps you to save money. We create Oval around 2 years and a half ago. We are a UK company with a lot of Italian people. Our headquarters is in London, but we have a lot of people in Turin. I'm from Turin. I live near a mountain like this, maybe a little bit lower, but is similar. I'm the designer, I'm an experienced designer of the company. What I'm doing in my life, most of the time I'm working in consultancy from 2004. I'm working for a lot of banks like Intesa Sanpaolo, or now we're investor today, from Unicredit, Banca Sella, something like this. But in 2012, I met Claudio, one of our co-founder of Started and our co-founder in Oval Money, and start our journey with Started. The idea of Oval Money is coming from the experience in Started, because with Started we work in crowdfunding industry. We create software for crowdfunding industry, the platform or whatever work with crowdfunding, payments, stuff like this. And we see that there are a lot of problems in the crowdfunding industry, because usually the investor didn't invest one more time in the company, because they didn't know where they take back the money. And the idea of Oval is starting from this problem. Oval is created by four people. One is me, another is Claudio, other is Benedetta, is formerly from Uber, Italy. Another one is Simone, is our CTO. When we create Oval, our idea is create a great culture, a very strong culture, because in our past experience we understand that culture is very, very important to create a good startups to when you can work. We want to put very important to design, because Oval is an app that user need to use every day, need to love you to use, and design is I think the best one, a solution to help user to love an app. And the third part is create a great team. We love our team. It's very difficult to find create a team, but I think with three of our is our solution to create a good startup where today is Oval Money. But the problem of Oval Money, when everybody you create an app, the process to create an app is pretty simple. You have an idea, you try to form some hypothesis, some assumption, experiment this, some reiteration, validation, no validation. After you can, it's like a circle, you can more hypothesis, more experiment, and validate the idea. When you are small, the system is working. But when you are a lot of people, when now Oval is around 20 people, we have some problem, because there are no communication between design, engineering, marketing, business, and we need to have we need to create something different. When we create this software is to create a right flow for working with design, my team, with engineering or business or marketing. And it's quite difficult, because people communicate with different idea, have a different idea to understand what you say, and sometimes have a big problem of communication, and you have problem to take the deadline, to take what you want to do. Oval need to progress fast. Oval is, we launched Oval 1.5 years ago. This is the MVP, the beta launch, the launch, and today who is next? We change a lot of. We try to change to change the interface, to change the interaction, to change everything. And every time we try to change, we need to move all people from engineering, business, marketing, and design. Every time you try to do something, we need to do a lot of A/B testing. If someone of you have Oval, there are some Ovals. Oh yeah, cool, nice. I don't know when you come inside, but we do over 10 onboarding to understand which is better to help user to come inside our app. The onboarding of Oval is complex. Have a lot of information, and we know about it. It is a big issue. But after a lot of A/B testing, then I think today I'm counting to do this presentation, and I find 10 different onboarding we test. We try to create a better solution, and it's not finished. We will change the onboarding as soon as possible, because we understand every day what user want to do when they use our apps. We try to do a lot of user testing, but with in real one or remote. But the problem of testing help us to create great solution. Here an example: when we create the onboarding, we find a big drop on some key point, like leave the IBAN was a big issue for most people, because maybe someone didn't have the IBAN. The IBAN in the wallet, maybe they don't want to give you the IBAN because they think IBAN is something really special. And we understand a lot of speaking with people, because sometimes when I design, I'm thinking like a designer, like people that every day work with this app, work with Fintech app. For me, it's normal. If you want someone want my IBAN for make me a withdrawal when you want, you can give. But for people, it's scary, and for us, is great improve speaking with people. But this is not enough. When you try to innovate your own products, you need to innovate the way you build the product. Okay, because it's not enough just create some new process, some new screen, some new interaction. You need to recreate the process behind this idea. And for us is to create the first version of design system language. In the first version that you can see now in the store, we have a small version of design language because we don't have the people to do this. It's a huge work. You need to take a lot of people and working with a lot of people to create a right design language system. But is necessary to create a consistency in the app. Now we are trying to working to create a design system language company-wide to cover the marketing, to cover the business, to cover design, to cover engineering. It's not just design, it's a mindset of all startups. And there are 5 points when you create on design system language. First one is focus. I'm a designer, I see a lot of websites, apps, and when you see something new, I'm a lover of everything you see. And it's a problem, because when I'm designing, you see a lot of moda, and it's good for my app, but everything is not good. You need to have focus on what you have created to create a great experience. And focus is very important. As important is clarity. Clarity because help user and help you to have a right position of your design and clarify the idea what you want to transmit to our user. Other things is the clarity help you to give a message in every part of your message, from marketing to design to business. You need the confidence. When you design an app, and if you are a designer or work with that, sometimes it's scary. You are scared about this because you didn't know the sector, you didn't know how to do it. Design system language help you to have confidence to work in something new. Imagine a designer that come in Oval and need to understand the philosophy. The design, sorry, the beer. Confidence help the designer to understand better what you think, just to see when you see just the design system. Is a consistency that is very important. When you design, you need to create something that is company-wide. Marketing, business, and design. A lot of time is a big problem, because when you speak with marketing want to do a lot of things that you can do, because designer don't have time to do. And if you create, I don't know, a framework, like a design system, is simple to have a consistency in all of this. And the last one is efficiency. Efficiency is help you to communicate your brand, your idea, your value, your everything what you want to communicate with design. And the design system, I think, is the solution, but it is a bigger problem. When you create the design system, it's not just a sketch file, maybe a UI kit with some button, some radio, something like this. You need to create a lot of rules, a lot of important rules that help people to understand what you want to communicate with this system language. And now we are work in progress. I don't have something is a work in progress, a constant work in progress. Because when you start, you create a base of your system, your design system language. Every time you do a light modify, you create a new component, you create a new part of the app, website, something like this. There are now huge work in the app to create a consistency in the design. Every time we change this system, is simple. We need to create the app code from Swift, Java, JavaScript. Change our template, because now there are nothing that is automatic, and is a big work, but is necessary to have a design system that help our business. Also, there are a lot of effort to stay there. We have a people that work constantly with design system to have to update all components of color, of design, everything, to have a solution, and all team need to have the design system like a Bible. I don't know if is a very, very important if you create a design like an app that now you can see is just an app, mobile app, but probably in the future will come on web, we will come on physical point, and we need to create a design language that is you can understand, you can see oval in what in everything we done with this, and that's it. So just
We've got time. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we still have like 3 minutes, so we can sing a song if you want, or we can just tell a joke. A joke.
No way. Okay, cool. Time for questions. Abbiamo il gelato? No. Otherwise the people on Facebook cannot hear. Oh.
In the meantime, I would suggest if you want to ask questions, you can come to the front so you will have the microphone.
Hi. As a designer, how do you collaborate with developers?
Yeah, it's I think the biggest problem from the design. Because in general, usually when you say do this, they do the opposite. I think the best things is when you create the design work in the phase of creation. Have the feedback from the engineer, help you to, when you integrate this design in your apps, your website, they are already know what you want to do. If you create design and give the engineer code this, they are, I don't know, they hate you, and they do the opposite what you want. If you work with the engineer, they are good people. I think is a best solution. Work together in the coming when you do the things, not in the finish in the last part of the process. Work together, feedback, and help you to design better, because sometimes if you are a designer, you create something that is crazy to do. And when you give to the engineer, do this, for him maybe 2-3 weeks of work, and it's crazy. For you it's just a line, for me it's 3 weeks of work. Are you crazy? If you work together, you can find the right solution, but you can, if you are a good speaker, you can, come si dice importare? Yeah, you get away. You can do.
David.
Do you use common design for Android and iOS, or you follow the rules like material design and?
Okay, I hate the rules.
Okay.
I hate the rules because I'm speaking with Francesco today. The problem is if you use the material design guide, you design like Google. Why Google didn't design for you? You pay Google. Google give you the app, and it's crazy. The Apple guideline give you some insight, but you can do what you want. The material design is really strict. Maybe the new version is a little bit better, but I prefer Oval. If you try the experience on Android or in iOS is the same. We didn't use the rules of material use of Apple. We use our rules. It is better because you can educate the user, and I think is a good challenge. You don't create something crazy, but you can try. I prefer to do this to follow some rules that is not mine.
Thanks.
Questions?
Hi. How are you organized at Oval? Do you have cross-functional teams with UI, UX, and developers all together, or do you have separate division?
Okay, Oval is divided. We have around 11, 12 developers, back-end, front-end. Our apps is React Native, Java, and Swift. The design team now is 3 people for the next week. When I'm looking for designer, I'm looking for designer that can give me the both side, UX and UI. With every designer that I have some skills, particular skills. Something illustrators. Another one is great in typography, something like this. But everyone have experience in UX and UI. Just because help to have a discussion, and I'm a UX designer. If I take just UI designer, I give the UX to the UI, they give some course, and that's it. I prefer something to collaborate with this, have different idea, and create a great product. And the experience of UX and UI will be better. I take the designer, they are inside, they working near the developers. I don't know if I'm lucky, but I have designers that are very, very, with a mindset really, come si dice talebano? Taliban, yeah, they are very, and help a lot of the engineering. Because sometimes I have the engineer because they lost for stupid things, But I have this designer inside the team that block the balls.
I also have. Sorry. I also have a question, and I'm taking the microphone away because I'm the boss of this place. Sorry, guys. You're the next. On a very practical side, we are now developing a quite big application, and we have a lot of design artboards, and a quite big application is starting to grow. You were talking about a design system, which is what we are actually doing for like sanity's sake. But the problem is when you do like minor changes on previous stuff that you already developed while you're shipping other stuff, because you see like an opportunity, you see something that you should change for a better vision of the app, maybe some small changes, but then you have like the design part and the development part which are misaligned. Yeah. How do you do that in Ovo? Because I'm very interested in that part. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's a huge part of. We have APO, product owner inside Ovo, that manage the changing. We have a developer for front end and a designer that are the project manager of changing. And before something will be accepted and converted to code, they need like a blood patto sangue.
Right. A blood bank.
Is real. I take these two people to communicate and to take the decision.
But how do you track changes if they are like a minor magnitude on other parts? Like, do you use some kind of version control?
Yeah, for design we use abstracts, but for the engineering is totally another things. For
yeah, I was talking about design, obviously.
Yeah, there are nothing that there are something from Airbnb. They do a great job if you work with something on React Native. They create a tool that connect your design to your engineering parts. When you modify the design, this automatically change your coding and the both side. It's not working properly. You need a lot of human work now. But I think with Sketch, API of Sketch will be simple. When you change something, because a lot of changing coming from design, just minor coming from engineering, you can manage this. Now it's people need to stay near the other one and change.
Right.
Now.
Yeah, so it's a people process.
In Airbnb, when I'm speaking with the design leader, the design team leader, they have a team that do just this. If you want to change components, you need to speak with this. They accept this, move the.
So they are basically like the components team.
Yeah, they have a components team to create design language team and just manage and integrate and sustain this design language. But for me, it's crazy. Are 20 people?
I think it depends on the magnitude of the company, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Other question?
Yeah, it's the final. He was queuing, so.
Oh, my question kind of overlaps with the previous one, but when you start designing something new, I mean, the average time frame between design conception and design release, more or less, how long does it take? And also, this one and I'll stop. And how often do you manage to pass new design conceptions?
Yeah, there are how many drugs you take and how many beer you drink. And you a lot of. No, yeah, it's depending from the future you need to design and how that impacts to whole design. Sometimes when you need to design small things is a huge problem than big things. Because when you design small things that you need to put in the design, in actual design, they touch a lot of things. You put our apps is divided by card, and sometimes you put a card. Yeah, put a card. Okay, but it's not just put a card. If you put a card, they take another one and change a lot of things. If you need to put this, you need to lose a lot of time to put this. Sometimes to create a great section from scratch, you take less time because you don't have a constraint. The problem is the constraint you have when you design a new things. I think it's sometimes 1 week, sometimes 1 day, sometimes 6 months.
All right, thank you very much. Is all of you awakened or? All right, so thank you very much, Edoardo, for coming to Trento and talking about the Walloni. I also have a referral code of Oval Money, so if you want to join and getting me rich, I'm joking. Yeah, I should put it on the slides.
And so we're back to Torino.
Yeah. And well, we have now 5 minutes of pause. So if you need to go to the restroom, which is that door, or if you want to grab a beer, which is on the other side of the room, or you just want to relax for a little while,
or go outside and get some air.
We will try to keep it tight, so after 5 minutes, please be back so we can go to drink more beers and eat Speck. All right, see you later.
Speck&Tech is restarting in 30 seconds. Please take your seat and mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Francesco Bonadiman. Hello, Franz. What are you doing down there? Please come. Please, Francesco. È un vestito. O è una tunica? People, if any of you have seen Francesco Bonadiman, can you please... Oh, it's there! Hey, can we please have some atmosphere?
Emanuele Lucci. No, okay. We say goodbye to our first speaker because he's leaving now to close the deal on the round. Ciao Edoardo!
Ciao Edoardo! Thank you!
Don't leave me this way. Okay, cool.
See you at the next round. Speck&Tech is a lot of luck, so he's talking to them. So.
Invest on us. Okay.
Because they are startups, no? They're full of money, right?
Nicola.
Alright, so the next guest is probably double the hotter than the previous one. Probably 3 times. Oh, he's still there. Sorry.
Tanned. You say tanned, you don't say hotter.
And he's working for a new bank as well, right? Can we?
A bank?
You can come with us.
A bank that is not a bank.
It's a bank.
But it is a bank.
It's a bank.
It's kind of. We also have one of your customers here, which is a friend of mine from the crowd. It's legend. It's not. Yeah. Can you see the rainbow card there?
Nice.
And so he will talk about the new kind of bank that we will have in the future, like the first slide that I just incidentally read. And so, warm welcome to Nicola Parrello.
If you look for him on the social media, it's called Allocin.
That's not yours.
No spam, please. Okay, yeah, so let's see. Does this work? Okay, so thanks a lot. Welcome, everybody. And yeah, as the slide said, I would like to tell you something about the close future. I would like to bring you back to the future. But first of all, I would like to tell you something about me. Apart from liking fish, as you can see there from the picture, I was born in Trento some years ago, and actually I grew up in Pergine, which is what, 50 kilometers from here? Best place ever. And yeah? Are you from Pergine or? No. Oh my God, where are you? Always. Yeah, then I studied computer science here in Povo, and then thanks to actually Francesco, who talked me into applying for that, I ended up studying in the EIT Digital Master School, which was called back then EIT ICT Labs Master School. It's kind of longer. And then after graduated, considering that I was trying to figure out what to do, where to go to, what to work on, I, in the end, ended up in Amsterdam, working for Bank. Now, Bank is a bank, actually, and it is, we like to call it a real and viable alternative to traditional banking. So not only we invest a lot of time and energy in designing the most beautiful and the best banking experience that we can, we pride ourselves in having a user-first approach with everything we do. So not only design, but also on what we decide to work on, like features. So we have a very close contact and relationship with our community. We actually have a community where we have discussions and we figure out what to do, what not to do. So I think it's a quite interesting, we try not to have users, but to get people to be part of Bank, which I think is quite nice. We do not invest any money into shady companies, shady businesses, polluting agents, weapons, and all that kind of crap. And also because of the user-first approach that we have, we try to be as helpful as possible in our customer support. Now you might say, yeah, of course, you try, but apparently we're actually succeeding because people like it, and the only reason is that when people have problems, it sounds obvious, but they just want to get this done. They just want to be done with their issues and actually get to continue experiencing the product that we as a company, same as others do, spend a lot of time in working on. And yeah, by the way, a few weeks ago, maybe a month and a half, we actually released officially in Italy. So if at the end of this you're interested, intrigued, or you want to have an already existing user ambassador to tell you something about it, please, we'll be very happy to have you on board. Now, today I actually want to talk about the different scopes and the different parts that will shape the close future of banking. So we have regulations, we have technology, and because it's really hard to see this stuff, because financial technology is always something pretty abstract. For those who are developers, is there? Can I have some hands? Who is the developer here? Okay, yeah, fair enough. So I'm going to show you a demo. Woo! At the same time, what I also want to make clear, I will not talk about these two things here. So even if Daniela is looking for someone to work on blockchain, I won't talk about this because even if they are two topics that are very important, really great and really interesting and require a lot of research, at the same time there is so much more that can be improved. Closer? Oh, yeah, it makes sense. At the same time there is so much more that can be improved in the experience that people have every day with their money, even before considering blockchain and crypto. But anyway, so yeah, first of all, PSD2. Now, who knows, who has heard of PSD2 before? Yeah, not very much, but still enough. Pete, can you tell me what it is?
It's sort of framework to facilitate banking transactions in the European Union. Sets of regulations.
That's a part of it. That's a good part of it. Anyone else? Anyone daring? No? Okay, so PSD2, first of all, stands for Payment Service Directive Revised, instead of 2, which is interesting. And it is a European regulation that will make it mandatory for European banks to provide services to read bank accounts data and initiate transactions, so that these can be integrated by third parties into any kind of other piece of software, for example. What I think it is very, very interesting is that the PSD2 includes a big part which is going to be about security. So finally, we will get banks to implement obvious standards, such as, for example, OAuth, or proper two-factor authentication for accessing banking services. Which means that, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but you can actually say goodbye to those disgusting little cards with a lot of codes that many banks are still using to give their customers access to their internet banking platform. Goodbye. What is also very interesting is that, first of all, PSD2 will end banks' monopoly on customer data and will put customers completely in the driver's seat to make sure that they give access to only what they want and their data doesn't go around. Being a directive, it means that there's really no escaping this, because this one has to be implemented into national law, no matter what. Again, this is a lot of theory, but it's really interesting to see also what in practice, what implementation of this could be in PSD2 bring. This is the most obvious scenario, and also the simplest, but I think it gives a good idea. Let's say that I have 3 bank accounts in 3 different banks. So right now what I can do is simply have 3 browser tabs open, and just log into one, log to the second one, log in on the third one. So 3 different sets of credentials. And I just keep on switching between tabs. You have this really, really inconsistent experience, of course, because everyone is doing whatever they want, even in good faith. But it would be already quite interesting if it was possible to have a consistent and seamless experience on a single platform implemented by me or by you or by any other company, so that we get a proper experience. People should not feel pain only because they have different bank accounts in different banks. I mean, this is probably something that made sense 20 years ago, but we should be past it. Unfortunately, banks are not really into this because they're asking themselves many good questions. I would say good. One is, considering all this integration and aggregation, different services in the same platform, will my apps actually be ever used again? And the answer to this, I'm sorry, it's maybe. Because it really depends, because I mean, you can probably have a lot of good experience and a lot of experience about this. There are a few exceptions, but in general, banking apps could use some improvements. Some. And so, of course, if you get a small startup that is working on a product and is focusing a lot of on design and a lot on creating an experience that is pleasant for their users, there might be some competition on this. The same thing happens, which is a very close question, with the second one. So will fintech companies actually steal my business, slices of my business? Maybe. Because if, let's take mortgage services in account. So let's say that a bank offers a mortgage service, and then comes a fintech startup that is offering a cheaper version, a version that is more tailored onto the needs of the user. It's very plausible to expect this person and consumers to actually choose the first one. So again, maybe. And third, will we as a bank and our customers be safe considering these new security measures? Maybe. Because even if these security measures might seem new or might be considered as new by people, if you remember, we were talking about standards. So things that have been in place, I'm exaggerating of course, forever, and it should be even more worrisome for banks not to have implemented this up until now, in my opinion. But probably the most interesting issue with this is that actually customer data accounts to around 40% of retail banking's income. So you can actually understand why people are not really into this kind of changes. But while there are issues for banks, there are of course advantages for us as consumers. First of all, considering that banks, thanks to PSD2 and these services, will stay in charge of money and in charge of the safety of this money, it will become much easier because there will be less regulations, less paperwork to do for new players in the financial system. So this makes it really interesting for us developers as consumers of services and also producers of services, because PSD2 will create an environment that we will be able to actually feel with all kinds of services that are smarter, better, cooler, and nicer to use. Last but not least, this kind of change, this revolution, will not be taking place only in the single national markets. Because PSD2 will bring this on a European scale, actually European Economic Area, so even the UK is still in, so that it will be mandatory, so European Union and national laws will make it mandatory for example, again, a mortgage, someone who is offering a mortgage, to accept even banks and bank accounts that are coming from Estonia. And, or even RT providers will finally accept any kind of IBAN. Now I tried with my bank account, I was trying to make a little test a couple of years ago, and probably, now I don't really know exactly, but it was maybe a third of the companies that I considered were actually accepting an IBAN other than an Italian one. And it's not going to be the case anymore, which is nice. Unfortunately, it's not really clear when we will get to use this. And the reason for this is that even if it's really nice and there are a lot of cool things, PSD2 is still in a legal limbo. And it is in a legal limbo, by the way, so if you want to get this or to want to get this kind of services, next time you go to your bank, try to push them, try to ask them, when are we going to be able to use this, when are we going to expand and get a little bit more modern. But anyway, as I was saying, there is a legal limbo, and the legal limbo is also given by the fact that there are other regulations and directives that are playing side by side or even against PSD2. One of which, you might have heard it, It's under 4 letters. It's GDPR. Yeah? Is there anyone here who actually received no email about GDPR? No? Okay, good. I would have been in complete chaos if someone actually raised his hand. And there are a few examples too, actually, that I wanted to bring about this. And first of all, in the clash between the two, there is the so-called right to be forgotten. So try to imagine this case. You have a bank account, and you give access to this bank account to a third party. Someone, a fintech startup, someone, for example, Oval Money. And, but because not every company can do everything on their own, they must have third parties on their own. So if I give consent, but then I also take it back, how can I be sure that my right to be forgotten will be applied to the whole chain? It's not an easy question, it's not an easy issue. Same happens with terms and conditions. The first third party has a certain set of terms, the other's a completely different one. So how can I be sure that my level of consent is actually applied to all of them? Hard to tell. This is actually a visual representation of all these issues. This is a dependency tree, a third-party tree, that is used by a company that you probably know of. It's this one, PayPal. PayPal is not a European bank, so technically it shouldn't be touched that much by PSD2. But you can definitely imagine that any other bank is not that different from this one. And these are all the companies that they use for risk management, for processing transactions, such as even MasterCard, for example, or Visa. So you really see that these are not really easy issues to solve, and it will be very interesting when, for the first banks to comply, because they will have to solve a lot of practical issues. But I believe that there are two ways of approach this issue. Banks can either comply and actually just pull back, especially if they don't see the value in investing money and time in this, or they could decide to compete. Because, I mean, we know that technology should turn difficult things into easy ones, and turn easy things into things that just blur in the background, in order to create better experiences, more seamless experiences. And that's why it would be really nice if banks would just take it one step forward, and instead of working on complying with PSD2, and they would work on a proper API. Now you might actually argue, wasn't PSD2 anyway about an API? Because it's about services, integration with services, and we can safely bet on the fact that most of the services will be implemented as API. I don't know, RESTful API, or I don't know, whatever else, streams, WebSockets, whatever. I thought about it, but I didn't want to say it. I mean, true, it was also about APIs, but I believe it's like comparing these two. So I'm sorry for vegetarians, but this is probably, if you're really hungry, you're gonna eat probably the one on the left. But if you can choose, probably you're gonna go for the meaty, juicy, greasy burger on the other side. And that's what I think an API is. Because competing in this field means really giving developers, designers, entrepreneurs, the tools they actually need to do what they do best, which is using their creativity, our creativity, to give simple solutions to very complex problems. Now, while preparing this presentation, I decided to split banking APIs in 3 types. On the top, you have new modern banks, banks that have been working since the beginning on providing these kind of tools, and Banca Sella. But the reason why I included Banca Sella in there is that it's an interesting example on a national level, on a national scale, of what a bank can do if it stops thinking like a bank in this. At least in this scenario, of course. Then you have aggregators. Now, it's of course not expectable, it cannot be expected from any bank. There are around 6,500 banks in Europe, so you cannot expect each one of them to come up with a separate API. And that's why Teller in the UK, Figo in Germany, or the Open Bank project are doing something to fill this gap in, which is just connecting to systems, private API offered by banks, in order to create a standardized one that can be used by anyone. Or you have companies like Revolut that are right now not banks, but are still investing a lot of time and will probably soon become banks and join the first step, the first group. Now, because also I need to do a little bit of advertisement, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bank API, which is our API. I hope you forgive me. And what I think makes it different from the others is that since the very beginning, so since we started working on our banking platform that we built from scratch, we had always had a plan of releasing at the same time an API, a public API, that is almost identical to the one we use. So that even if we release a new feature, or a new app feature, let's say, it doesn't take long, not a lot of time goes until we actually release it to the public, in the public API. So you can really do everything. It's almost annoying. Payments requests, you can even send chat messages, and you can also use a callback system that makes it really easy to integrate with other services and companies. And I would like to show you something about it, if you can see it. Is there anyone having problems seeing the monitor? Like reading from there? No? Good. So actually what I want to show you is how easy it is to perform the first payment, just on a sandbox environment. And second, if I have time, of course, how easy it is to hook it up to any other system using this callbacks. Let's see if I can do everything. So, no, oops, oh, my phone. So, what I'm going to do is basically just go on our website, actually on our developer page, which is very originally bank.com/developer. And I'm just going to scroll this, you've seen this. So you've seen this, and yeah. So we have 4 SDKs in 4 different languages, and for the sake of the demo I'm going to choose PHP. By the way, fun fact, actually our whole banking platform is written in PHP, which is usually kind of a debatable choice for a lot of people, but I can tell you it's actually quite cool and it works. I heard that. Okay, so now we're just gonna... oops. Can this be removed? Clash. So yeah, I'm just gonna paste this, and this is going to install a few things, blah blah blah, go tinker. And basically what this command did is actually just downloading a few example scripts, a few sample scripts that allow to see better. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so first of all, in order to make a payment, I'm going to have to make a request. It's kind of counterintuitive, but this new account was created without money. So I'm going to run this, make a request, and take a ring. So I'm going to ask, because I'm greedy, 100 euros, and so we test. And basically we have this really nice utility to get money at first, that is a recipient called Sugar Daddy, which as a very nice sugar daddy is going to accept my request straight away. So I can see straight away from here, if I want to see now the user overview, I should, if I tapped it correctly, yes. So my account right now, where is it? Has a balance of 100 euros. So now I can actually make a payment. But in order to do it, I'm going to need, oh, where is it? Can I move it to the other one? Give me a second. So I want to show you how this works. So I will first of all open the bank app. So yeah, by the way, this is our bank app. Giulio.
Premi sul telefono. Sul telefono.
Ah. Yeah. How does this work? No, exactly. Okay, so we're back. Good. So I'm gonna make this payment, and
you're fucking poor.
Huh? That's why you have a test account. But not that mine is actually much different. So pink, and I'll link at... Are you right? Sorry. Okay, done. So tinkering again, I'm going to send €1, and it's going to be again test, and I'm going to send it to, let's say, that was a faster demo last time when I tried it, and I'm going to send it to this, it's here. Here. What, this? Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to be back here and to my overview. So yeah, it's faster usually. I'm going to do like this. Okay, so this is sent, and now if, and the payment is received. Yay! Oh. So this is actually powered by our infrastructure because it is built to be real time. So as much as we can, we're always going to try to run this as smoothly as possible so that you can get your money and actually send your money. Let's see if I can show the other one. I had to set something up in order to make it work. I basically wrote a little node server that is simply listening on this path, checking, getting the payment and the amount of the currency, and it's simply just showing whether you received money and how much you paid. And this is just an example because if this works as a base, then you can always run API calls to other services and basically start a chain of services from here quite easily. So in order to do this, we'll have to do, what is it that I have to do? Yes. So I have the terminal of the output of this that is running. So now I'm going to send the payment from my phone, if I can, yes. So it's going to be, let's say, €1, yeah. And I'm going to send it to an account that I had before, which is the one where this callback is registered. And now let's see, I'll send this. And now it should take, I think, maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds, but we should see something in the console. If we don't, I screwed up. Maybe you can ask questions in the meantime.
How do you feel?
Very fine.
How's life?
Is anything working? Come on, please. Well, if it's not, let's just pretend it works. Always to expect in tech demos. Yeah, so I must assume that it's not going to work. I can promise you it does. And yeah, basically that's... Huh?
Keep the faith.
Actually, no, I should check the database, but I'm not sure I want to do it on live stream. Sorry, guys at home. Yes! Thanks, Ricardo, for this. Okay. So, yeah, actually, that was it. So, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Nicola, for the funny talk, I would say. Questions from the audience? Otherwise, I did have one already. Wait a sec. Huh?
By the way, if you're interested in data about what I talked about, I prepared the sources slide. Yes?
The Italian banks are ready to offer the service through the new standard.
Sorry, are you asking me if banks are ready?
Is it ready now?
Well, I think the difference, it's possible that banks, and we can see it from, for example, the banks that you can connect all the money to. Just I'm using all the money as an example because we've seen examples of that. And so there are a lot of private APIs. So there are a lot of companies, a lot of ways to connect this. But right now, from my understanding, the bank that is the closest to this is actually Banca Sella.
Only Banca Sella.
Because
I'm pretty sure Money is scraping information from some bank accounts.
Scraping, yeah, I don't know. Weren't we talking earlier with someone about this American company they might be using
Yeah, actually, it's called Blade, I guess.
Okay.
They are offering PSD2 for the US as a service because they don't have a law that forces banks because they don't have.
Unfortunately, the other alternative is actually scraping. So you can have a service that just goes, logs in, and does the things. Help. Yeah, which is just not nice and also not secure at all. Not exactly the preferable choice.
Banca Cell is expensive.
As in.
Very high the cost. The fee.
Expensive.
Expensive. Sorry. Yeah, well, on one side, yes. On the other side, services. I mean, probably those services were also quite expensive to build. So I think sometimes we will get close to a trade-off, to a situation where it's important to choose whether you want to have a cheap bank or you want to have something that actually empowers you. So if you start having integrations, if you start having plugins, let's call them, in places you can use your bank account, your advanced bank account, then I think a beer, like the cost of a beer or 2 beers a month, doesn't become that much. My personal opinion. But then we will see how the situation evolves.
Is there any particular reason because is there any particular reason why your backend is written in PHP or something?
This is like the 1 million question, euro question. Well, even if you always have this equation where you have PHP on one side and you have shit on the other side. Even if this exists, it doesn't mean that PHP is actually bad. I think the main reason why PHP is considered as bad is that it's easy. And if people who don't know how to write the complex things, or even easy things, take an easy tool, it's basically the same as jQuery. So you have this tool that can do a lot of stuff that misused is just terrible. PHP has the advantage of being easy to pick up. So even when I joined, I joined as actually a backend developer, then I turned front-end and full stack, whatever. But in general, I had no clue about PHP. And same happens for a lot of people, a lot of colleagues of mine. Also, if you write it correctly, I think it's quite pretty. But you need to be really, really strict. You need to have this massively strict code review standard, this code style standard, and enforce it and enforce it and enforce it, so that you don't end up with those kind of WordPress plugin code and that you want to avoid as much as you can.
Also, there are a couple of billion companies that comes to my mind when you're talking about PHP. One is very famous, which is Facebook. The other one is MailChimp. Not many people know that billions of emails are sent every day via PHP. So.
And they are received. So.
And they are received as well. They're not ending up in some WordPress website as spam. So, if any of you have any other question? How about what is the relationship between PSD2 and American accounts? Or like when you have to interface with MasterCard, or when you want to implement like bank or like European standards with American banks? How do you deal with that if they don't have to apply to PSD2?
Well, now, the answer I can give you is not going to be as in-depth as I would like it to.
We talk about in front of a beer if you want.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the whole point is that American companies, if they operate in Europe, also for what is required by European Union, they basically need to be European companies in a way or in another one. So this is also one of the things that will have to be straightened out, if I'm not mistaken, by the whole from the whole legal limbo PSD2ism. But again, yeah, you cannot expect to solve the whole madness if you start also considering other companies that are just out of the whole jurisdiction, and yeah, there needs to be some fence, something that you can operate in before you can start solving issues. So I believe that's going to be the case. There will be special cases for those companies so that we can actually establish the framework as something to work in.
More questions?
So, as someone who's recently moved to Europe, I have a situation in terms of trying to move funds from the United States to Europe. You've talked a lot about the data side of it. Are you aware of any developments that make it easier or less expensive to move funds from other countries to and from the European Union? So for example, you can see fees as high as 3%, oftentimes moving currencies from the United States, for example, to Europe. TransferWise and other companies are trying to get that number down. But I'm just curious if you are aware of any other developments or things that make it easier or less expensive to move funds in and out of the European Union.
I do not know much about transferring funds, so that's, I'm sorry, that's the first part and main part of my answer. At the same time, the reason why companies like TransferWise and other financial companies that have been trying to innovate and change things, so change things that were given as a fact in order to provide a better service, is because they could, maybe not cut, but they could rethink processes and actually go there and start cutting corners, not in a negative way, but actually just saying, okay, this is actually not necessary. Why are we doing this? Can we automate it? Can we make it better? Can we, if we cannot do that, can we make it just more pleasant for people? So there are a lot of ways to improve. Price is definitely one of them, but not the only one. But I'm 100% sure something else will come up, for sure.
Thanks.
See, maybe we will offer something in case. Leave your contact.
Okay, I have maybe a final question to close up. For the people in the room, why would you need to open an account? Why would you be interested in opening an account on bank instead of doing it on Satispay, Oval Money, InBank, or whatever? What is the added value that you would provide to the end users?
Well, on one side, the companies you mentioned are not banks. So if we're talking about a bank account, then it's definitely a different thing.
InBank is like...
Yeah, okay, InBank, okay, InBank. but that's an app. On the other side, I believe that it's a lot about communities. So what bank offers, what we really strive in doing every day, what we focus a lot in doing, and what we want to do for the rest of our lifetime as a company, is to come up with ways, with things that people can use in order to use their money for whatever they want, whenever we want, and with whomever they want, slogan. And that means that you need some people to use them. I believe the bank is awesome, and not only because I work there, but also because I'm an enthusiastic user, and I really love, and I would never go back to a traditional bank right now. So if you want to have something like this, if you want to move away from what we've always been used to with banking, just give it a try. And if you like it, you will recommend it to your friends, families, and step by step, maybe we will get to actually achieve something nice and something good.
That was very passionate and unbiased. Thanks, Nicola. Big applause. Okay, cool. Well, no, just c'è una domanda sulla live. Alla?
È troppo tardi.
No, dai. Una. Dai, una volta che ci fa la domanda. Dai.
Chi l'ha fatta?
Chi?
Rudy.
Ciao Rudy.
Therefore, what's your unique USP that will actually make you survive, given that you are third mover in the European landscape, or you just think that the market is big enough?
Sorry.
Okay, sì, torna in centro, parla.
Basically, they're asking,
okay,
how do you
bank
think
is a nice idea,
even if you're very late on the market?
Bank is a nice idea, but you don't offer anything much different from a Revolut or N26. Therefore, what's your unique selling proposition that will actually make you survive, given you're a third mover in the European landscape, or you just think the market is big enough? Thanks. Ciao, Rudy.
Well, I think the question already touches a few interesting points. So let me start. Okay, so well, of course, we're not the only one. We're not the first ones. And if you look at numbers, the Revolut and N26 have a lot of users, really a lot. But I believe that both Revolut and N26, especially N26 in the end is a bank repackaged for mobile, which is not a bad thing, not at all. But it just is son of different needs, different circumstances. What we want to offer is not a mobile bank only. We actually want to offer an experience, which again sounds really abstract, really whatever you want, but it's something that we notice with the people that we have on board, people that actually are not only early adopters, because I guess we're past that part, but it's really about people that want to be part of it, part of a change. So maybe it's also for this reason that we are not going to be the biggest player soon about this. But if we get enough people that want to make a change, actually make a change, and join us in shaping what the future of personal banking will be according to us, please join us and it will be great. So is the market big enough? I guess so. And I guess what PSD2 plans on doing is actually opening these markets as much as possible. So it's not only about private banking, it's also about insurances, mortgages, pensions, and there are so many things that have been touched only by traditional banks up until now that will just become open for new players to experiment in, that I think it's not going to be an issue at all. But again, we'll see, who knows. At least trying to make a change, always.
Cool, that was enough. Thanks, Nicola. It's interesting to see that there's people on the internet asking questions. I thought that people were only showing up in person, but they are actually following the stream. So yeah. Anyway, so welcome back to reality. We were a little break from the internet questions. All the slides will be available on our website. So if you didn't have the opportunity to take photo to all the slides, then you can have it on the online as well.
Yes.
And
what else? I guess we can see each other on the 11th of July.
Yeah, we have very interesting guests.
Yeah, with big guests, with brand new stickers, with
t-shirts,
maybe brand new t-shirts, with a big surprise event that we are organizing, but we cannot tell you anything about apart from this.
It's Francesco's birthday.
Yeah. Last month, actually. Anyway, that's it.
That's it. So let's think of the night as usual. If you could help us moving all the chairs, because there are a lot of them and we are very lazy. So if you could help us, thank you. And thank you everyone for showing up, and thank you people from the internet. And
please get a t-shirt, get a chairs, and stack them, move them on this side of the room. There's the plant. Next the plant. Okay, line up all the chairs on this side. Yeah, that's pretty it. Oh, the orange and the black ones go at the end of the room, and the green and the red one go here. So yeah, we are studying getting.
I don't know. Thank you very much. Right.